Good Thursday morning, ladies and gentlemen. Man, we usually don't have Thursday briefs. Actually, we are going to start. Well, not we, or maybe we. I'm actually going to start doing when we launch our Sacred Warrior Fellowship stuff. I'm going to do some sacred briefs on Thursday and all sorts of cool stuff on Thursdays, but over at our church. So I will be doing Thursday stuff, but not trading. This is it, man. Last day of a free week of live trading and training, man. We did a lot this week. We did a lot for free. I'm probably going to make an audible today. I don't know. I mean, I can cover Amazon briefly and stuff going on, but there's a lot of stuff going on that I wanted to cover. Like yesterday, as the market imploded, we have a bearish trudge on the S&P 500 that did its job. Was printing money yesterday as the market imploded. Actually, had a bull put spread on that got kicked in the teeth, but almost made it by the end of the day. So maybe we can cover some S&P 500 trading and stuff like that. But I can talk about Amazon briefly. It's our entry level service, folks. It's not. Let me go find that. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Hey, do me a favor. There was a lot of Maverick Mine orders yesterday and merch too. Please do me a favor if you're interested in doing this, do it like right now. Oops, let me turn the chat on here so you don't have to be over in the Q&A box over there. Do me a favor and order it like now. Leave the brief and go do everything right now. Why? Because going to the post office in Boca Raton, I'd rather get my teeth drilled. And I'd rather make one run to the post office to mail all the Maverick Mind orders from yesterday and all the merch. It sucks. And don't brief me on the, well, post office can come to your house. And also, I really don't even have enough time to look into whatever it is you're telling me I could be doing. But I'll make a postal run this afternoon. So if you're interested in, I took my morning brief this morning, got my meditation on. Thursdays, I don't go to yoga. I do my mastermind call with a bunch of interesting folks. DC, Chicago, got a Hong Kong, military folks, political folks, hedge fund folks. And we had a good call today. That's why I'm going to audible some of the Amazon stuff and focus on some other things too. But do me a favor, if you're interested in the merch, a lot of good merch orders yesterday too. Appreciate that. Like I said, if you want to post on social media, do it and tag No Fallen Heroes and Sacred Warrior Fellowship. That would be awesome. If you want a black Maverick Bind hat, you just click black right there. There's the white one in the picture. So do me a favor, go knock that out now if you're interested in this stuff, because I don't feel like running the post office again. Real quick brief. This is a surreal moment. I got into Harvard Law School. Well, I'm going to Harvard Law School for a day. So on November 5th, I will be speaking at Harvard, which is a pretty surreal moment for a poor kid from South Jersey and who flew fighters towards psychedelics access. Go faster or slower. So it's actually a conference. It's a day-long conference with some of the 500-pound heads in the space here from Johns Hopkins, from law, from government and stuff like that. And I don't know how I snuck in, but they invited me to be on this panel during lunch. And it's going to be broadcast on the internet or simulcast or however you call it. So you can register on this page, online registration, if you want to check it out. So it's free. So register with Harvard Law to check it out. If you know me, you know what my answer is going to be. It's faster. Maybe that's why they have a veteran on the board on this panel. 22 veterans will check out today, or 17, or 44. You picked a number. One veteran taking their own life in this country today is too many. 22? What do you mean go slower? What we're currently doing is not working. Secretary Collins said this in a cabinet meeting in May. Mr. President, we're throwing a lot of money at veteran suicide, and the numbers are staying the same or going up. I have an idea. When in a hole, cease digging. Stop doing what you're doing. Folks, I sat in the back of an F-18 two-seater with a student in the front seat doing practice bombing. I took my kneeboard card and I drew a big bullseye on the back with the rings in it. Rolled in, they dropped a bomb. I put a little X where that bomb went. Second time, if they rolled in and put it right by there and it wasn't on at the bullseye, if they did it the third time, I'd eject them out of the front seat. If you put another bomb in that hole without moving your input, I'm going to kill you. Do something different. Now, if you're all putting them in the bullseye, keep doing what you're doing. So we need to do something different. Slower is not the answer. I have had an incredible morning. I told you about one of my very close friends, a civilian. His beautiful bride called Susie and I this morning crying. We're like, oh my God, no. Happy crying. She said, he called me, obviously. He called this morning and she's like, I've never heard him cry like that. She said it was extremely tough. He said it was very, very tough. A lot of dark, but he got the reasons for the dark and he connected with God and he got these answers. She's like, he could not have been more. She's like, his name's Greg. This is Greg 20 years ago when I met him. It's insane. She had to go because he was calling back. She's like, oh my God, that's him calling again. I'll talk to you guys later. Never a doubt in my mind. Never a doubt in my mind. I was holding space last night. It's so incredibly powerful to be doing this work. And it's interesting because Dre is like she's like, he said there was a lot of dark and, I'm like, Dre, listen to me, man. Just because I was on my back for 12, 14 hours with God, flowing robes and healing, Marcus, JT, JJ, they sounded like they were fucking in it, man. Like, I'm like, oh my God, what's going on over there or with these guys? And that next morning at breakfast, they were different human beings. And I was looking at him. I'm like, are you guys okay? And Marcus is like, never better. I'm like, it sounded like you were in it. You were killing some demons last night. And he said, yep, I was. And now they're gone. So I love doing this work. I'm so excited to talk to Drea. She's like, I'll call you guys. So just so happy of that. So, oh, Debbie. Yeah. So anyway, all right, we got a lot to do. I didn't mean to drop anchor here for too long, but it's so, trading's great, making money's great. Healing, helping people heal is the ultimate great. And you're going to be able to do that. I'm still working on, I just got my latest round of revisions to our techies and marketing people to update the website and make some changes and stuff like that. So we've already talked to 3 or 4 TGO members who are coming in December. If you want to join us at our next Sacred Warrior Fellowship ceremony or retreat, it's the first weekend in December. I care because that's Army Navy weekend. I'm going to be hanging with you, sitting in ceremony instead of watching Navy beat up on Army. So that's how you know I care. But even if you don't want to sit in ceremony, even if you just kind of, please donate. We need. I'm going to brief you in a couple weeks on the Camp Mystic study with Doc Martine. We're going to need help funding this, man. These beautiful women who have experienced a ton of trauma we need help. We need help. I need your help. So Scott, nice check this week in the mail. Very nice surprise. We appreciate that, my brother. I see TGO members have monthly recurring donations to No Fallen Heroes. You guys, you light up my soul. I've asked a couple times, man, if you shoot a sniper today, take 50% and donate it to the foundation or the church. We need all the help we can get. Take your monthly Starbucks, whatever you spend every month at Starbucks, throw it at the church or the foundation. Okay. All right, let's go. So I'm going to make an audible. Well, let me ask you guys, because yesterday's market implosion and Donald Trump, we're back in it, man. Now, yeah, the credit card roundup too. Thank you for mentioning that. So yesterday, the market, remember this, and I told you this earlier in the week. The market only cares when it cares. It hasn't been caring. It cared a week and a half ago with Trump. We're in a trade war with China again. The market went apeshit. And then it didn't. He said it's back off. Well, now it's back on, not only with China, but with Russia. He's getting tired. And, you know, Trump ran on what? This is Sleepy Joe's war. Wouldn't have happened if I was president. I'm going to end it in 24 hours. The fuck you did, Mr. President. 10 months later. 10 months later. You should have, you know, he talks like that. Like, I'll end it on day one. And here we are 10 months later. So you failed, Mr. President. Well, negotiations are complex, Wiz. Well, then don't talk like that. You kissed his ass for 10 months. You flew him you met him in Alaska, kissed his ass. And you see that press conference? Putin wasn't budging. The ass kicking is not working. I started this brief with, when in a hole, cease digging. If you put a couple bombs in the same hole, move the aim point. This ain't working. So now he's really hit him. Oil spiked today, or is spiking on this. And he loosened the restrictions on long-range weapons into Russia. Not tomahawks. He's still tomahawking in the background. And let me be clear, I hate this. Stop it. Stop killing each other. It's a disgrace. These young men who are dying because of two dudes, Vladimir and Vladimir. Seriously? Over fucking land. Stop it. And I get that that's what the president wants. He hates war like I do. He hates killing like I do. But the whole tomahawk, I gave Joe Biden shit. We're not going to give him tanks. That would be World War III. Remember when he used to do the creepy whisper into the microphone? Then he gave him tanks. We're not going to give him fighter jets. That would be World War III. We gave him fighter jets. How many times do I have to say this about war? War is the ultimate failure of the human condition. It does not get any more of a failure of humans and politicians than war. However, if it has to happen, which almost never, unless somebody invades your country. Here comes Canada. Here comes Mexico. Repel borders. And that's it's so funny that the people are like, I got to plug my computer in, giving the president shit about like sending troops to the border or whatever like that. Hey, last time I checked, the only job of a military is what? To defend the homeland. That's the only job of a military. Mission objective 1 of a military. Protect your country. Where are we? Korea, Vietnam, Libya, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, as 20 million people invaded this country. Nice job, military. Nice job, Joe. So here's what I'm getting at. War, if it has to happen, should be as absolutely horrific and violent as humanly possible so it ends quickly. So this is Oil impacts everybody, folks. So I'm not going to spend too much more time on this part of the brief, the strategic brief with Ukraine, except to say what I always say at the end of the Ukraine part of the brief. This is going to get worse. And I hate it. Big market swings are back, putting investors on edge. One of the reasons we see big market swings is something like this. Popular leveraged funds shock investors with huge losses. Some funds offering double single stock moves or triple have veered sharply off course from the shares they track. These things, ladies and gentlemen, are third rails. Wiz, I trade the triple leveraged whatever, and I'm printing money. That's great. Oh my God, I just got wiped out. That's awful. Stay away from these things. I think at last count, there's like 35 VIX leveraged things. Why would you trade a derivative of a derivative? Trade the VIX. These things are financial weapons of mass destruction. Be very, very careful with these leveraged ETFs, folks. It is bad. The daily Tesla bull shares. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, these are businesses. The Wiz ETF launched today, right? Anybody can launch an exchange traded fund, folks, and double lever and all that type of stuff. They make money for the business that started these things. And you ready for this? These can go to zero. You ever see Dr. Jeremy Siegel from the Wharton School of Business interviewed on CNBC? He had Wisdom Tree. He launched his own ETFs. Two of them blew up. And oil, one of them was oil, I think. It went to zero. Imagine being in an ETF and getting an email someday from the fund manager. Yeah, like the account's at zero. Sorry. Read page 92 of the agreement that says you can suck it. So these volatile swings are going to be back. And we will, absolutely will have some sort of implosion in the future. Don't know what it's going to be. Trade war with China, invasion of Taiwan, a new virus, raging inflate, fill in the blank. Markets go in cycles, folks. I started this week by showing you since 1991 what the market has done since I've been investing. But let me just pull up that chart, folks. Remember that these things didn't exist. That's how old I am, right? Back in 1991, there was no double, triple, reverse Lindy ETF fund. There are now, right? And these things really started to become popular around the financial crisis of two. That's why these things are violent. So get ready for violence, folks. That's why I'm going to audible today. We can talk a little Amazon, but we need to talk through some hedging, some dredging, some protection. Okay. We talked about this earlier in the week, the warning signs lurking below the surface of a record stock market, right? Oh, did the XIV go to zero? Yep. Oh, you know what? I forgot, folks. Somebody direct message me. It's the replay page is right there. Okay. And I didn't even look this morning. I've been swamped talking to Drea, talk on my call. I haven't even looked to see how many, but there are a handful of monthly memberships left. They're on the member page or the replay page now. Okay. So, there's the best deal. Obviously, you save 50% on an annual membership. If you want to keep kind of doing what you're doing right now, keeping a trial going, I ain't a charity. It's $295 a month. If you want to keep kind of a trial going, but get access to the investment club, the Hunters, it's $497 a month. You'll do that for a couple months and then email and say, okay, you do what you say you do, and I want to upgrade. So there's the links to join. Okay, it's on the replay page. This replay will be also on the replay page. Okay. Before I forget, let me give you this then. Solo Amazon, folks. If you're not ready for anything full throttle, just do solo Amazon. It's $97 a month. It's a live trade brief every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Wiz, I can't join at 10 a.m. Doesn't matter. You're going to get the alerts, excuse me, immediately on your phone. You have your own thread right here. Amazon Trade Alerts thread. This is where I post everything Amazon. Amazon plans to replace more than 500,000 jobs with robots. Yay? Yay for Amazon stock. Employees bitch, moan, complain. They unionize. They need health care. They want a break. They need a 401k and they get paid. Not anymore. You're fired. Somebody remind me how super awesome fun time AI is going to be to these 500,000 employees at Amazon. I'll wait. Tell me how it's going to be great. Well, they'll figure out how to do something else. Really? That's your answer. We are in so much trouble with AI. I can't even tell you. These poor people. Let me talk as Gordon Gekko. Great. I'm long-term bullish on Amazon. That's going to help my synthetic stock. Me too, baby. How now? Let's be a human. Unbelievable. That's in the New York Times, folks. Amazon plans to replace more than 500,000 jobs with robots. Internal documents show the company that changed how people shop has a far-reaching plan to automate 75% of their operations. Where's all my aviators in the room? I'm actually hearing Amazon, FedEx, UPS are behind the scenes lobbying full effing throttle for single pilot operations. AI, man. We don't need two pilots up front. We'll have one just in case the computer fails. And most likely in our lifetime, ladies and gentlemen, there will be no pilots in cargo aircraft. I guarantee you. You can bitch and moan, you can complain, and I'm a pilot, folks. I flew for FedEx, I flew for American. It will happen. And it happens in the cargo space first. Why? Amazon plane crashes on short final. Nobody gives a shit if two people die. I do. So, ladies and gentlemen, how many times have I told you this? The blue Amazon truck pulling up to the front of your house in about a year won't have a driver. It'll be electric. You're going to get a text that says, come out and enter this pin on the keypad on the side, and the door will flop open and your package slides out. What if I'm not home? Well, maybe a little drone flies out of the top of that van and goes and drops it on your porch and flies back. I told you years ago a drone's going to fly up to you and scan your face and drop your prescription in your hand. Remind me again how super awesome AI is going to be. This is in the Wall Street Journal this week. So New York Times, Wall Street Journal. This is dark. This reporter goes into a Amazon factory where the largest portion is dark. There's not a single light over there. Except for little light leaks from where humans hang out. This is where the inventory is stored on thousands of yellow shells. The robots swarming around look like electric orange self-driving lawnmowers in a coordinated dance. They don't need light, folks. What a metaphor. Robots, AI, darkness. We don't need light. Oh, that's fantastic. So all human interaction at these Amazon places happens at the DMZ. Excuse me, the boundary between light and dark zones. Wow. And it's incredible to me. Like, oh, well, Wiz, these data centers will need to be built. And there's going to be 10 people working in a massive data center the size of Manhattan, making sure that everything's plugged in. This is bad. So, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? Let's make money off of Amazon. Amazon is in Anthropic, right? So there's OpenAI, there's DeepSeek, there's Anthropic. All these little AI companies, Amazon's in it, folks. And guess what? Unlike OpenAI and all these other companies that don't make a dime, or they do make a dime, with Wiz's $25 a month he pays for ChatGPT, we're going to make like $50 million this year. We're spending $1 trillion. Okay. I'm a political science major. That math don't math. But so folks, Amazon makes money. You want to order a toothbrush, you're going to jump in your car and go to Walgreens where it's locked up behind glass, or you're going to do it on your phone and it's here in an hour. It's over with. So Amazon not only is in AI and Amazon Web Services, and it's funny when Amazon goes down because of their AWS numbers were a little light. Did you see the numbers and the growth? Yeah, but we thought it was going to be super disgusting. It was only disgusting. Okay, roger that. When all of this stuff pops, Amazon will be okay, right? That's what you want to do in a bubble, right? You want to be in a name that is part of the bubble, but it ain't going to go to zero. It's physically impossible. They got airplanes, they got fulfillment centers, they got everything. Oh, and they have AI too. So there's your solo Amazon pitch, because I have other stuff to do this morning. It's $97 a month. It is not part of Full Throttle. If you just do the $97 a month for the live trade briefs, you got to take the upgrade to do Options Weapons School. That ain't included. You're not paying for it. So you got to pay for it. Do not take $97 a month solo Amazon and not do the training. Why? Because in the live trade brief, when I'm doing something, if you stop me and say, hey, can you explain X, Y, and Z? I'm going to go, no, go learn that in Options Weapons School. So you're going to be a little lost if you just do solo Amazon and don't take the training. That's on you. Okay. All right. Back to what we were talking about. Let me finish the strategic part of my brief. This last night, article came out last night. I'm sitting on the couch doing my training to get ready for today and my brief. And look at the headline. AI workers are putting in 100-hour work weeks to win the new tech arms race. Wow. Workers in Silicon Valley are pushing themselves. Oh, man. That's my buddy Greg calling from Bossy. I'm in a live trade brief, but that makes my heart smile. I love that. That is fantastic. All right, I'll call him after this brief. This is what a horrible headline. These people are working themselves to the bone to build things that are replacing them. I shared with you the Wall Street Journal article 2-3 months ago that said 165 grand a year college students that would graduate computer science majors and walk right into that 165 grand a year job on average are at Starbucks. It's over with. These people are working themselves to the bone for what? So Bezos, Sam Altman, all these guys, there'll be a handful of trillionaires in the world at the top of these AI things, and the rest of you will be unemployed. Count on it. How Sam Altman tied tech's biggest players to him. Where's the map? You want to talk about a single point of failure, ladies and gentlemen? Look at that chart. I've bookmarked this chart because I'm going to refer to it in a couple years when it all implodes. Folks, and it might not implode like go to zero. Look at the internet bubble. It popped, it got rid of the crap, and then there was a Netscape, an Amazon, a Google, and a whatever. Some of those only exist in memory. The rest of them are billion, trillion-dollar companies. The same thing will happen here. The bubble will pop, but solid names will remain. I already told you Amazon. If you want to be in the AI stuff, the safest name to be in is Amazon. Okay. But Sam Altman, folks, he's the head of the Ponzi scheme. I shared with you last week the article that Sam Altman said, what? Oh, yeah, my God, we're in an AI bubble and people are going to get wiped out and get destroyed. Let me go get that. Where is that from last week? Here it is. Wait, the guy at the center of AI said what? Sam Altman warns that the AI industry is due for a spectacular implosion. What? Yeah, that's awesome. The guy that's at the center of this entire thing is like, oh, yeah, yeah. I'm telling you right now that's going to happen. What? Read this on your own. Maybe we'll do that today. I'll show you the NVIDIA trade. We have a bubble pop trade out into the future that will print money when, not if, these things come back down to earth. Let's just look at this real quick. Since I already gave this to existing members for all the new folks in the room. You ready for this? Ba, 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 ba. Between the 10 years we've already been operating and the many decades ahead of us, of course, there's going to be boom and bust. Listen to this sentence. People will overinvest and lose money and underinvest and lose a lot of revenue. We'll make some dumb capital allocations, but over the arc that we have to plan over, we are confident that the tech will drive a new wave of unprecedented economic growth. Great. I expect you to, yeah, it's the kind of blasé, bromidic talk you'd expect to hear. Oh, there'll be up and downs and, blah, blah, blah. But let's keep going. This guy commands a $500 billion startup that really doesn't make a dime, right? Let's keep going. Where is it? The Wall Street Journal, ladies and gentlemen, in the US, CapEx for AI contributed more to the growth of the economy in the past 2 quarters than all of consumer spending. Sit up straight and listen to that. I posted this last week, a report from Goldman Sachs that said what? Take out AI, GDP is what, 3, north of 3? Take out all this stuff, the GDP was flat to negative, technically recessionary. Are you listening to me? This is a MacGyver stock market being held up on it's a house of cards with bubblegum string and a straw. This MacGyver market, let me read this again. CapEx on AI contributed more to the growth of the economy this year than all of us spending, because we're not. So, and you might be, Wiz, the sky is falling. It's hardly an exaggeration to suggest if the AI bubble bursts, it's going to take the whole economy with it. And the omens are everywhere if you look for them. The most looming being the fact that the biggest AI firms haven't demonstrated they can turn a profit with the tech that everyone is banking billions on and revolutionizing productivity. That's the phrase that these people throw in my face. You don't understand it. It's going to revolutionize productivity. Well, we'll tell that to the 500,000 Amazon people who aren't going to have a job. Merry Christmas. What are they going to do? There's only so many DoorDash drivers we can have. And here's what's funny is when Amazon gets rid of 500,000 of their employees for productivity, do you think they're going to be buying things on Amazon? Man, I'm out of work. I can't even pay my rent, but I'm going to order stuff on Amazon. It's a snake eating its tail. But nonchalant doomsaying is Sam Altman's specialty. This sentence, I love this one. When bubbles happen, smart people get overexcited about kernels of truth. I heard that AI might do this. Oh my God, throw $1 trillion at it. Overexcited about a kernel of truth. And for every kernel of truth that I've heard in the AI space, I can throw you a grenade of sadness. Are we in a phase where investors as a whole are overexcited about AI? Yeah. You ready? This is Sam Altman. He's also warned for years that AI will wipe out entire categories of jobs, cripple society by drowning it in misinformation, and cause a Terminator-style apocalypse that kills all of us. What? Wait, the guy at the center of all of this said all of that? Yeah. Wow. Right after warning of the AI bubble in August, Altman acknowledged that someone will lose a phenomenal amount of money, but that, of course, we don't know who. Ladies and gentlemen, I've used the example this week of what? It is a musical chairs. We're all walking around the AI chair waiting for the music to stop. Who's going to have a seat? I will. I'm going to have a throne because I'm going to print money. Here's how you know it's built on a house of cards. And we have a nuke expert. She's a badass F-15 fighter pilot veteran, Arrow, healed with Ebola down in Costa Rica. We took her down to Costa Rica as part of our foundation. She's the 500-pound head. There ain't enough power for all the dudes and the ladies screaming about the future and how everything's going to be super awesome and productivity and AI is just awesome. It's physically impossible to power it. How are we going to generate the power? The DOV says data centers will use that many gigawatts by 2028. That's equivalent to 40 million homes just on data centers. Currently, nuke power is the only way to do it. And the average nuke plant produces what? 8,000 per year. Are you doing math right now? In other words, we need 73 plants. Guess how long it takes to build a plant? 10 years. Oh my God. Reaching the required energy output by 28 seems close to impossible. Now, if you're an AI bull, that's a Dumb and Dumber sentence, right? So you're saying there's a chance. That's exactly the trade, Aaron, is the power. AI data centers, desperate for electricity, are building their own plants. Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, that's where the trade is. But be careful. I'm going to hedge right now. The frothiest AI bubble is in the energy stocks, right? Concept stocks with no revenue have soaring valuations. I get it. Wiz Nuke Power Inc. I just launched today to power AI stuff. Buy it. That's the .com-ish in here. We're going to look at some energy stocks that have had a rip your face off rally, gave back some of it, and should continue to rip. This is according to Arrow. She works in the nuke industry. She knows all of this. I did this brief last week, but this is for the new members here. I already briefed you on this. A Fed lieutenant last week. AI is advancing so fast, just people are going to get destroyed. New jobs might come out of the dust clearing, but initially, no. A Senate report, not Wiz bullshitting you, the United States Senate said AI and automation could eliminate nearly 100. Are you listening to this? Liberals are frothing in the mouth day 3 about Donald Trump paying for a ballroom to be built. Do you know how embarrassing it is when Obama or Biden had state dinners in tents? What type of country are we? Build a beautiful ballroom to have state dinners. It's not paid by taxpayers, but they need something. Breaking news, Donald Trump announced he is Satan. Liberals are demanding it be hotter in hell. People are stupid. But ladies and gentlemen, a third, 30% of your fellow Americans will be out of work. What's the definition of a recession? When your neighbor loses their job. What's the definition of a depression? When you lose yours. It will happen. There's the AI bubble I already talked to you about. Oracle. Or how do you know you're in a bubble? Read this headline. Oracle isn't answering the hardest questions about its AI plans. Like, how are you paying for it and how does it make money? Oh, but look over here at our AI thing and our deals with Sam Altman and that mouse eats the cheese and it's a self-licking ice cream cone. No. I got questions about how you're going to make money. AI, ooga booga booga. Oh, okay. What? AI hype has been lucrative for Oracle. AI fatigue could prove painful. Oh, we were printing money for the past month or two on Oracle. I haven't looked at Oracle lately. Let's go look. 3-month chart. Yes. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. It did exactly. I think we're going to trade some Oracle again. Gap up. It gapped up on what? NVIDIA's paying us for this, and then we pay NVIDIA for that, which goes to OpenAI, and OpenAI gives us this. That's circular. That's vendor financing. It's AI. So it gapped up, and what did it do? I drew that line that day. I did bearish double verticals. I did bear call spreads. I did bear put spreads. I think I made about 30 grand on Oracle last month or the past couple months. So watch a gap up move. Gap up, it filled this little, whoa, whiz, what's that pop right there? That was TikTok. Do you remember? Well, breaking news, Oracle's going to be part of the TikTok deal. Yay! Okay, boo. It's been hovering along the gap fill, the half the gap. That's bearish. From a technical analysis point of view, if something gaps, fills the gap, and goes up, it's bullish. Buy whatever it is with both hands. If it gaps up, fills the gap, and skids along the half the gap, it's, in my experience, bearish. Obviously, if it gaps up, fills the gap, and goes lower, pound it into the dirt. So Oracle's hanging at this half the gap, and that's not bullish. I guarantee you. Look at this. I think it's got 260 written all over it. I'm dropping that in there. Oracle's back. I'm back talking about Oracle. And this, I don't know shit about Oracle other than all this stuff recently. I can be a technical analysis trader in the blink of an eye. This has got 260 all over it. Maybe we'll talk about that tactically too. You got it, Scott. It is called hype. Washington nuclear facility will deploy 12 funded SMRs. What is that? Like small, medium reactor? I forget what that stands for. So look at these modular reactor. Ooh, how about these modular things? Like not 3 Mile Island. I grew up in New Jersey. I remember the 3 Mile Island. That's how old I am. Okay, interesting. The energy companies are what we should look at. So last week Aaron gave us a bunch of them to look at. NNE was, I think they're all still listed in here. No, NNE was one of them. And these are ones that aren't full of bullshit, like they currently have revenue and doing things. What were some of the other guys? CCJ or something like that, folks? CCJ was the other one. Well, let's go. Let's step through these. So kind of like psychedelics, folks, I'm going to tell you, these are lottery tickets. Oh, yeah. Let me write these down. Oklo, that's the other one. Oklo and SMR. Got it. Let's look at some of these. So, folks, before I even start looking tactically at some of these things, let me remind you, just like my psychedelics discussion yesterday, these can go to zero. These, the nano. What was that? Robin Williams? Mork and Mindy. This went public in 2024, right? So this is a newer AI dedicated power play, right? NNE. That's one of the names that she gave us. Camco, however you say it. Another one of these. How old is this one? I mean, look. So we're not discovering in today's brief. Hey, we're on to a new hot trade. It's the AI power. Look at this, the rip we've been having. Soon as you heard we're going to need a quadrillion gigawatts in the next day and we don't have it, you should have bought these names, right? Aaron told us about these a year ago. This is the other reason you want to join Top Gun Options is we have people like this in our hedge fund. We have a hedge fund? Technically, we do. Arrows in that space. We have pharma executives. We have psychedelic guys. We are the best hedge fund I've ever seen because we have people in all these industries. They're not sitting on JP Morgan's trading floor like trying to do research. They're in it. So Aaron told us about this one as well. And then Oklo, right? OKLO, right? Same type of thing. Let's just open a chart here. Look at that. Look at that rally from 0 to $200. So this was to be expected. Rip, fill the rip, consolidate, and if they're legit, they're going to keep going. Okay? So I would look, or you look at the ETF. Is it's got NLR? Let's go look at the NLR. There's a Nuke ETF. There you go. Look at that Nuke ETF. How old is this one? Guess it's been around for a while. It was old and stodgy and boring. Up until when? About 2022, 2023, when AI, everything AI. Rip. Look at that. So at the tariff bottom in April, Trump's trade wars, it was $60. It got up as high as what? You made $100 in the ETF. Wow. Now let's go start looking. So if you don't want to pick winners, like we said yesterday with the psychedelic ETF SIL, right? You do something like this. This, kind of like SIL, PSIL, that I covered yesterday, the ETFs in these names aren't actively traded. They're just not. Don't ask me why, which means what? There's almost zero options activity in them. Now, technically, a market maker has to make a market. If you want to come in here and be the one dude that places a trade, the market maker is required to make a market, but they're not going to, you're going to have to pay up. Market makers don't have, live next to Bon Jovi in the Hamptons because they're poor or they give you money. So you can get in that, you can trade the options in these names. It's going to cost you. So that's why you should probably try and, quote, pick a winner, right? So last week I did synthetic stock out to January of 2028. It's underwater right now. Somebody posted, Jean, I don't know if you're in here. She posted that yesterday. Like, hey, we looked at NNE last week and it's down a lot. What do I do? I'm like, what do you mean? What do you do? Well, first of all, whenever a member asks me something like that, I'm going to answer it with a question. Why did you get into it? What's your commit criteria? I told you mine. What's yours? And remember, folks, in the trade plan, what do we talk about? If your commit criteria, your 3 to 5 sentences as to why you got into a trade change, that's when you go, should I exit? There's no way on God's green earth that my commit criteria from last week when I did this trade or 2 weeks ago has changed in a week. If anything, it's gotten stronger and I'd probably add to this position, right? So folks, when you're looking at a trade that's literally years into the future on nuke power and AI, you're concerned in a week? I mean, that might be you. That ain't me. If you liked NNE last week at whatever it was, whatever we did it at, if you liked it at that price, you got to love it $10 cheaper. That's you dollar cost average. But if in a week you realize that no, this nuke energy or power of AI isn't right, then bail. Right? You should not be, folks, when you trade something this far into the future, what it does in the front months should not super concern you. As a matter of fact, what do we do in the front months? We trade it. You should have done some bear call spreads against it. I'm selling short calls against my nano. I think, as a matter of fact, this morning, I rolled the short calls down, didn't I? Yeah. So I had an existing like 48.5 call. I rolled it down 43. So Scott, I think, Scott, you answered her. Let's go look at it. Let's just show you the power of the hunters. This is why we have such a great community. Yeah, Gene. Anyone know? Whoops. Anyone know something about NNE? It was going down a third since I bought it last week. What do you do with it? Inputs appreciated. Okay. Well, the entire sector got bid up, and now the air is coming out. For now, the power requirements for AI are insane. So I think this is profit taking after the initial rally. We will see some consolidation and another leg up. If you like the name, it's a gift down here. Add more. If you don't, eject. Right? This is a bullish trade for me years into the future. I'm holding, right? And then Scott, 500-pound head on Scott. You can look to lower your cost basis of the position by selling front month calls, bear call spreads, right? I've lowered my cost basis from, let's round up, 19 to 15 since he put on that position. In 8 days, ladies and gentlemen, Scott lowered his cost basis by $4,000. I'm with Wiz, blah, blah, blah. Folks, remember, lower your cost basis. And this is why you join the hunters, man. We're answering each other's questions. If you're just trading solo, if you wake up in the morning and throw on a robe and bunny slippers and drink your coffee by yourself, what a miserable existence. This community is awesome. I get an alert and I'm like, oh geez, I got to go answer that eventually. I love when other people roll in and provide each other mutual support. So I absolutely would do this position today. Out of all of, I think I asked her last week. Let me look at her text and I'm going to give you the answer of what her top, because I think I asked her like, well, what? Let me scroll up. CCJ is the majority owner of Westinghouse. If we get the 10 contracts Trump is promising, the stock will explode. CCJ is one of them. Yeah, I just told you about that one. CCJ is the majority owner of Westinghouse. If we get the 10 contracts Trump is promising, then stock will go up too. This is why she liked, or I liked Oklo. Or no, I'm sorry. NNE. That's right. Now I remember part of my commit criteria. This is why I picked NNE. Because I asked her, I'm like, hey, give us your. She said, hard to answer because they are all essentially startups in the nuke world. NNE has a huge backing and lots of former Navy nuke admirals on the board and in the company. I added that to my commit criteria. Folks, nuclear power school in the United States Navy is the hardest school on the planet up in Orlando. And you command a nuke submarine and stuff. Having a bunch of Navy admirals on your board with ties to the Pentagon and the government definitely added to my commit criteria. So let's just do NNE. So let's do synthetic stock on NNE. Quick reminder. If you wanted to buy 100 shares of this nuke stock right now, it's $4,000. You got $4,000, buy it. And you'd be an idiot. Why would you buy a stock? I got my ears lowered yesterday afternoon, and I, again, told my barber about this. He's like, what's the catch? Because I explained. First of all, there's no dividend, right? So why would you buy the stock? And nobody cares about your shareholder vote. So why would you buy 100 shares of NNE when you could buy an at-the-money call option and control 100 shares? I just saved you 50%. I saved you $2,000 to buy the call option instead of the stock. It's so funny. Andrew, my barber's like, there's got to be a catch, Wiz. There's no catch. He's like, well, I have a financial planner who's like, oh, I'll stay away from options. They're crazy. I'm like, because he's an idiot. He had to study options for one chapter of his CFA test. And then, there is zero reason to buy the stock. None. Well, what if it goes to zero? What are you going to lose in the option? $2,000. What are you going to lose if you buy the stock and it goes to zero? 4,000. Again, it's so funny once you break through that veil of ignorance with people who Options. What? So just like I taught you yesterday, buying a call option is bullish. Selling a put option is bullish. So we sell an at the money put. The same one, 40 put. So now, ladies and gentlemen, you are synthetically long NNE stock. It's like you have 100 shares right now. You have a contract for 100 shares years into the future. How much are you spending? $215. I just saved you $3,800. I'm going to pause for effect because I can hear all you golf clapping. And if you're new to trading options, folks, again, you're probably one of the ones going, what's the catch? I'm not getting this. There is none. Why would you spend $4,100? Right? Yeah, exactly. You know what? So whoever pointed that out, you're awesome because look at this. You're getting paid. This is a credit spread. Why? Because there's a lot of volatility in that put. There are people on the other side of that put. Remember, a put buyer is what? Bearish. You're an idiot, Wiz. NNE's going to zero. I'm buying that put. I don't think it's going to zero. I got Navy Admirals on the board. I'm selling that to you. So, and this is why Scott did a great job in the past week lowering his cost basis by $4,000 is because why? The volatility in these options is through the roof. Holy shit. Look over here. The implied, look at this. 52-week implied volatility as high as 100. The 52-week historical vol, 217. Volatility is elevated, which means what's elevated? Premiums. That's why I rolled down my calls this morning, because even at $43, folks, there's a lot of premium in them. Why? Because it's up 5% today. This stock is having big swings, which elevates volatility, which elevates premium. Do you understand that? So that's why this trade is ending up as a credit. But to be honest with you, it ain't going to be a credit. Well, it says it right there. What did I tell you yesterday? You're never going to get filled mid-market on this trade. The ask is $4. Mid-market's $1.60. You're going to have to come up. So it will be a debit ultimately. But remember, folks, I'm not done with this trade. Why? We need protection, man. I don't want to have $3,800 at risk. What do? We buy a disaster put about 20% underneath the current stock price. What's it? 48? 4 times 4 is 4 plus 4 is 8. 41. What's that? A 43 put. That's pretty close. Is there a 43? There's a 42 put. So, ladies and gentlemen, whoa, Wiz, now it's back up to about $2,300 to buy this. Why? Why is divorce expensive? It's worth it. Why is that? I'm sorry, 30. Yeah, 32. Whatever on the brain. Thank you. So, it's $1,600. So the price of the trade went up because you're buying a put. That people are like, man, it is going to implode down to 32. So you're buying a disaster put. But how much can you lose now? Not $3,800, 23. One more time, I'm going to ask you. If you bought 100 shares of this stock today and it goes to zero in the future, how much you out? $4,100, Wiz. If you do the synthetic stock position, it goes to zero, how much you out? 20, whatever, 2,300. Which would you rather be out, folks? Again, my barber yesterday was so funny. He's like, I don't get it. I'm like, there's nothing to get, dude. I get that you might do the if it's too good to be true. There's nothing not too good to be true about this. And I'm not done because like Scott and I are doing, we're going to sell a call against it out the Friday, October 24th. Well, what did I sell this morning? The 43. I lowered it down to the 43 call. Look at what I just did. I brought in $90 I just lowered my cost basis by $90. Do that every week, like Scott's doing, like Wiz is doing. This is eventually paid for. I just don't know what else to tell you. So this is an awesome trade on NNE. You can copy paste the exact same procedure for whatever that other one was, CCJ. Before I forget, I'm going to grab a screenshot of this and blast this out. Quick reminder, what's the mid-market price right now? $14.55. What's the ask? $20. You ain't getting filled at the mid-market. I guarantee you, folks. You're going to have to do, and I think, Preston, you asked me this yesterday in the Hunters, and I answered it, but I don't know if you're in here now. Folks, you got to walk it on up. What does that mean? I'm going to show you right now. I'm not going to place this trade. I already have my NNE trade on, but I'm going to show you what you need to do. NNE 1023 metric. M. There we go. I love the fact that Greg just called me. That makes my heart smile. Listening to his bride crying this morning on the phone, I'm like, oh God, what happened? She's like, oh, he's back. I'm like, yes. Ibogaine 100. Now he's got a lot of work to do in his integration, but Ibogaine, new NNE, Jan 28, long-term bullish synthetic stock. Oh, I forgot about that trade. I did a bear call spread on NNE that's going to expire for max profit. You're welcome. I also just lowered my cost basis. All right, so I'm going to grab the image of this. This is why you need to join, folks. Join like yesterday. You're about to get an app alert on your phone. What are we doing here? So if you can't make the brief, there you go. Fire. Where's that NNE bear call spread that I placed? NNE. Let's see. Oh, that was yesterday. My God, the days run together. New NNE weekly bear call spread. I sold the 46.47 at 25 cents. I think it's down to about 10 cents right now. You're welcome. I just lowered my cost basis on NNE. This is how you do it. New NNE, long-term bullish. Also, weekly bear call spread, very profitable. All right, so that's my lifetime, folks, the most elite membership here. And then that was the Hunters over here. Let me make sure I put that in the right thread. Yes, that was in the Trade Alerts thread. All right. All right, so Jeff, let's go back. Jeff actually got filled at what? 14.12. Oh. So maybe, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to walk it on up. Try mid. Somebody else fire this trade. Somebody do this. Somebody else fire this trade. I already have mine on, so I'm not going to do that, obviously. And I got my bear call spreads. But as more people are doing this, 14.55. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we're talking through this, and I want to stay on time today. I got 90 million things. Thursday, Friday. Thursday's my Sacred Warrior Fellowship days. Friday's my foundation day. So I got a ton of stuff I got to do. But let me brief you on a very important safety tip right now. If you've been clubbing in the Bahamas for the last hour and 4 minutes, listen to me. Do not let NNE expire Friday at the closing bell above 43 and still have this short call on. You will wake up Saturday morning, and as you're watching College Game Day, you will look in your E-Trade account and you will be negative. You will be short $100. 100 shares of stock. Why? Ladies and gentlemen, what have I told you this week? Sellers have obligations. I sold my house. I'm obligated to go to closing and give them the damn keys. You are obligated to do something. A buyer has rights. Bought the house, I have the right to the keys. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you sell Friday, 43 call, you're saying I am obligated to deliver 100 shares of NNE at 43 bucks. If it stays below 43, no problem. If it goes above that and you hadn't closed it out, you are obligated to deliver whoever's on the other side of this trade 100 shares of NNE stock. So what happens Saturday morning is Saturdays in Chicago used to be really busy. Why? It was settlement day. You'd go in and you had your book. You settled. All right, man, I'm short. Okay. Now it's all computer. E-Trade's going to go in your account and go, where's 100 shares of NNE? Okay, Wiz doesn't have 100 shares of NNE, so now we're going to go borrow it, and you're short. How do we avoid this? Well, first of all, every Friday I send out an app alert that says what? Warning, roll up or close any short calls that are near or in the money. I treat these short calls the same as I treat a bear call spread. I will take profits at 7, 8, 9. If I'm looking at a 70, 80, or 90% profit, close them. What are they at? 90 cents? I would eject out of these calls if they go up to $1.80. I double the credit that I take in. If I take in 90 cents for these short calls and NNE's rallying and they hit $1.80, eject. My rule of, and if you're wondering about 789, this is my SOP. You're going to learn all of this in Options Weapons School. Wait, where did he come up with double the credit? Where is he taking profit at 789? You got to join and you're going to learn all this stuff. Okay? Does everybody understand that? If you don't, join and you're going to go understand it. Do not let these short calls expire above 43, unless you want to wake up Saturday and be short 100 shares. I don't know. This is a volatile name, so it's, and look at look at the Nuke ETF. What did it have? 200,000 shares. We're at 1.5 million right now on NNE. And I guarantee you right now, folks, we are moving the stock. All of you that are doing this right now, that is Top Gun Options doing this. We do this. There's a nice rally. What are my short calls at? 43. I better drop a 43 in here. I got to keep an eye on my own short calls. 43. Okay. Any questions on that? And I would close the bear call spread, folks. If you got filled on that and you're at 7, 8, 9, close the weekly bear call spread in case it starts ripping. Questions on this? Josefina, how do you determine the weekly, monthly short calls on any long position? That's a great question, and I answer that in Options Weapons School training. So join. Done giving away all the free stuff, man. Options Weapons School, session 3. We talk about covered calls and doing the short calls. You'd learn all of that right here. It's a great session on how I pick my short calls. How far out of the money do I go? How do I manage them? All of that is in your Options Weapons School training. Any questions from Atai or anything like that from yesterday? I thought Atai was having a nice day today. Atai, A-T-A-I. Actually, it's flat. You know what's interesting, folks? Here's an Obama teachable moment. Atai's flat right now. Why is your options position up? Remember, folks, people can be piling into certain strikes, which causes the option price to go up. The stock might, hell, I've seen stocks down and my options position's going through the roof. Isn't that cool? Try that with somebody who just trades stocks. Like, what type of sorcery are you doing? There's a lot of people piling into this strike in this options contract. Guess what happens to the price of that options contract? I've seen that so many times. Does everybody understand that? So that shows me that there's people taking some bullish positions. Wow, Scott, look at that. A tie position is up $22,165 year to date. I absolutely love that. That makes my heart smile. Wow. Good stuff. Folks, you know, I didn't cover Amazon too much, only the bad. Synthetic stock on Amazon. We trade the front months. We do short calls. That is our gateway drug. Our entry-level service here at Topkin Options is Solo Amazon. Reminder, somebody emailed support yesterday like, well, Solo Amazon is part of Full Throttle, right? No. I think I said that a trillion times. Let me say it again for the people in the back. It's its own standalone service. It is not Full Throttle. It's Solo Amazon. So just about everybody in Full Throttle also has Solo Amazon too, because that's how I start the week. I start the week Monday morning at 10 a.m. with a Solo Amazon brief, okay? Only $97 a month, folks. And we have a blast in Solo Amazon. We also trade XLY in Solo Amazon. It's an ETF. Why? Because 25% of that ETF is Amazon. There's Tesla, there's Home Depot, there's Chipotle, there's a bunch of solid names in XLY. So if you want to diversify outside of Amazon, but get some Amazon, XLY is the ETF to be in. It is a great name. I mean, look at that. Just solid name, man. XLY is it's the consumer discretionary ETF. 1111, we are on the right path. We are doing some incredible things, folks. Sacred Warrior Fellowship. I'm going to call my brother Gregory, who's down at Basi in Mexico. I can't wait to hear about his journey. So look at this, XLY, Amazon, 21%, Tesla, 20%, Home Depot, McDonald's, Booking, TJX, Lowe's, Starbucks, DoorDash. There's some Chipotle in here somewhere. So folks, I'm going to teach you in our Solo Amazon service to put a synthetic stock on XLY and Amazon. And then we're going to trade the front months too. So join Solo Amazon, folks. If it's your last $97, don't do it. Let's see. Hey man, excited for you coming to Harvard. Are you free the night before? I'd like us to connect with ex-SEAL Team 6 members and others in the area advocating for ibogaine, hedge funds, good people. Let's talk beforehand. I love what's going on, man. Great stuff going on in the world. Join our squadron. If by Thursday morning you're on the fence, don't join because you don't recognize a good trade. This is the way to do it, man. Full Throttle and Solo Amazon. Again, let me remind you, nobody else does this. I just did a free week of live trading and training, man, and showed you everything. I don't know what else I can do if at this point. Short call out the Friday on Amazon. Let's see what I have in my personal account. I posted this, in the Hunters and the Lifetime. I post all my trades in there. What's my short call out the Friday? I have the 220, but that's way out of the money. Let's go look at Amazon. I'm going to roll that call down right now then. Amazon. Nice little pop today, finally. Let's go look at the at-the-money straddle. Or actually, no, I have the 220 call. So don't do that one, Ann. The 222.5 is the only one you could do. My call's in the money a little bit. So there you go. Yeah, right here. So my short call is a little in the money right now. It's hovering at, so 225.5 would be the short call. If you don't have one on right now for your Amazon position, I'd sell the Friday 222.5. So thanks for reminding me, Ann. I got to keep an eye on that short call because it's hovering around at the money. Right there. And folks, you see these white lines on my chart here? That's not from E-Trade, that's Wiz. These are strikes. I go in here and put the stocks get pulled up and down 2 strikes, folks, and I can explain why it does that. But I'm going to hang in the 220 for now. Hell, I'd love for it to start ripping up to 225. That would be awesome. Any other questions, guys? Email me, wiz@topgunoptions.com. We're done. We're done. A full week of trading. We're going to get airborne without you, folks. Let me give you the replay page one more time. This will be on the replay page. If you join right now and you're interested in the Nuke stuff, I did a full brief last week. I was texting Arrow in the brief, so go watch the replay from last week on all the Nuke names, and you'll get up to speed. Okay, so Scott, thanks, Wiz. Just ordered No Falling Heroes hat, challenge coin, and Maverick Mind morning brief. I love me some Scott. Scott is a great American, ladies and gentlemen. So please do. I'm glad you told me, Scott. If you're interested in the merch or learning or to start microdosing, please do it now. As soon as I close the brief, because I'm gonna get my email together and the replay and go hit the post office. Okay, and then tomorrow, Susie and I are leaving, getting in the car and driving up to just north of Palm Beach for our retreat. Man, I am so excited. 6 veterans. Very courageous men. Very courageous men. We got Army. I think we got everybody, man. We have some very hardened combat veterans that are taking responsibility for their healing. If you can, do me a favor. Saturday around 1, if you can just maybe schedule one of your meditations for Saturday afternoon and send these men, these husbands, these fathers, these sons, these brothers, send them some love. It's just so easy to do in a meditation, man. Like, hold these 6 guys in your heart and say, God, please give them exactly what they need. And that's what I'm going to call Greg right now, man. I'm going to stretch my legs and call Greg down there. I'm so excited. If you can, like I said, we need help getting Sacred Warrior Fellowship airborne. Okay. If you can throw a couple shekels, hey, Wiz, I made $2,000 this week. I'm throwing 50% into your fellowship to help heal people. Let's just say that comes back to you, man. I guarantee you that comes back to you. When you put goodness into the world, God and the universe feel that, they see it, and it's all circular. All right, I got to go. Have a great rest of your day. Fights on, namaste, and basi, Wiz, out. Welcome aboard to all our new members, and I'll talk to you guys after the retreat on Monday in Solo Amazon. Okay, cheers. We'll see you.